So this build is very special to me. This is for my son, and you can see that there's going to be a few photos. This whole video is going to be a compilation of photos dedicated to the build process that took place for this car. It was purchased off of a family friend, and his father owned the vehicle and passed away, unfortunately. And so I just started to build this car after I bought my house in 2016 November, and yeah, the whole process is just unfolding here as we speak. I'm sort of just pulling everything apart and getting ready to start to build my dream car, and this is going to go to my son. There's no doubt about it. I'll have it forever. And so I had a VNSS that you can't see it in that photo, but it was completely smashed in the arse, and so it was a write-off. So I had a T5 manual V8, and that was gonna be a really good driveline for the VK. The VN was irreparable, and it didn't bother me anyway. Even if it was clean, I was always going to do the VK. And so we pulled down the motor, the engine rather, and the carbon built up on this engine was insane. So for anyone who's done this conversion, you'll know that you'll need brakes. You need everything really, like the whole front end, brakes. It's better to do the diff as well, just because they're a 28 spline, a lot stronger. And so there's a lot of cleaning involved. Just the amount of carbon that was built up was just insane. So I took my time like I do. I usually take a lot of time on projects like this, and particularly with this one. This was this was very dear to my heart, and still is. So yeah, I mean, I had a budget as well, like a very modest, realistic budget. I wasn't just able to pull out 50 grand and pump it out like, some people are lucky enough to have that, I guess, but I'm not. Yeah, so I just had to do it very slowly, and the parts rocked up for this car sort of every fortnight, I guess, and with every part that arrived, it was an opportunity to take my time, assemble, clean, and just go for it. So I'd like to just put it out here now that I did everything to this car. There was only a couple of things that I didn't do, and that was, well, one of them was to rebuild the diff. I think that's a very specialised area. So I'd just like to thank Graham from Boss Engineering for that one. You can see this is when I received the diff back. It had a Eaton True Track diff center put into it with 391 gear ratio. But everything else I did, like converting the diff to disc brake rear end, that just everything, you know. Yeah, it wasn't. It was a drawn out process, and again, I was able to take my time. So, yeah, I'm just assembling the car at this point, and just throwing everything back together that's been cleaned. A lot of my parts had arrived by this point, so I was just slowly going through the motions of assembling. I was lucky enough to be able to use my mate's engine build room to assemble the top end, but you'll see later in the video that I don't stop here with the engine. I actually do a few more bolt-on modifications, just to give it a bit of zest. And so yeah, this is a Yellowterra flywheel. It's an ultralight flywheel, with an Exceedy heavy duty clutch. Again, like, there's nothing here that's ridiculously expensive. It just they're they're just new parts, fairly stock, um, and easy to come by. The Pacemaker 5700 is the PH 5700, sorry, is a header that's designed for an injected 5 litre to go into a Series 1 Commodore, and I mean, like, VB through to VK when I say that. And so yeah, this is the engine getting assembled into the car for the first time. You probably noticed that the as the car developed, the house around it developed as well. Like I have a shed in the remainder of the photos, I believe. So that had to come as well, and yeah, again, just a very slow, methodical process. Yeah, 3 years. So this is the where are we at? This is where the exhaust was getting built by Mick at Exhaust Dynamics in Summerton Park. I know Mick is a great guy. This is the wiring loom that was made by Rod Webb Electrical, and so that was able to be fitted up in the shed. We got power to the vehicle, and yeah, by this time that was it. It was turnkey running. This next process, I mean, it's going to look like a flash for you, just going to the body repairs, but again, I've done all of this myself in the shed, and this was an incredibly long, tedious, monotonous, crushing 6 to 9 month period of just coming home from work, sanding panels to bare metal, metal sealing, well, not metal sealing, but like rust converting. I can't think of what I'm trying to say at the moment, but and then thrown into an etch primer, and then I think I base primed at some stage, but the whole car, the top half of the car at least, went completely to bare metal. And so here I've obviously thrown some primer on, and this is the car turnkey running. I can actually pull it out of the shed now to do my work outside. I don't recommend sanding inside of a shed. You really do get stuff everywhere. And same with painting, which I chose to undertake both, unfortunately, for my shed. So with the primer, I started to think about the final level, and just blocked it, rubbed it back, blocked it, rubbed it back, filled the low areas. It just took so long. And this is when I got hold of the Group A body kit, and up until this point I wasn't even going to go Group A, but I got hold of the kit and I thought, that's come to me at a reasonable price, so I'm going to do it. And so this is the further engine upgrades I was talking about. You can't see this in the photos, but I do have a Haltech Platinum GM ECU as well that I'm running, and just lots of goodies here. The inlet manifold gasket. I feel like if I was going to get one of these anyway, I would have done it on the banana manifold, and I just decided to go all out with the Edelbrock manifold, and I just think it looks a little bit better in the engine bay. So, and anyway, this is when the other thing I didn't do is the final coat of paint. I didn't trust myself at the time, and I really wish that I did, because I could have done it. I've done quite a few cars since as well. But anyway, this is the body kit coming back from paint, and I went for the overall same colour as the car. It was a bit of a risk because I didn't know how it was going to look. I mean, I know that's silly to say, but with the Group A body kit, I didn't know how it was going to look. And I'm really happy with it. It came together really well, and yeah, I'd just like to say once again that this build means the world to me, and I'll have this car for the rest of my life, and I intend to give it to my son Jaden. He can take that and everything else that I own when I'm no longer here. That's all for him. So yeah, one day you might listen to this when you're a bit older, buddy, so if you do, I just want you to know that that's all for you, and I hope you enjoy it. So thanks guys, hope you enjoyed watching that build unfold. Thank you, bye bye.